Hello and welcome. My name is William D. Temple, and I'm the founder of Build a Highly Profitable Company. Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about corporate governance. Now, a lot of entrepreneurs don't know much or anything about corporate governance. And what I want to teach you today, just briefly, is about the corporate veil. Do you know what the corporate veil is? Most entrepreneurs don't. And a lot of times they put themselves into jeopardy because they don't understand what the corporate veil is and how it protects them. Now, why do you incorporate your company? Most entrepreneurs say, well, I wanted to build a business, so I incorporated a company. They don't understand that when you build a company properly, you create a corporate veil, and that corporate veil protects your personal assets from any problems that the company might get into and prevents people from piercing the corporate veil and suing you personally for something that went on in the corporation. So it's very important you understand what corporate governance is and how you create and protect a corporate veil. One of the things that's most common nowadays is so many entrepreneurs go out and they go online and do their incorporation. Well, they get a certificate of incorporation which allows them to open up a bank account, and they think they've got a company. But in fact, they don't. All they've got is a certificate of incorporation. To have a company, you have to have articles of incorporation. You have to have stock certificates. You have to have bylaws. You have to have corporate resolutions. And all these things are necessary to create and build a corporate veil. Now, for example, when you go online and you do get the article, the certificate of incorporation, okay, what you then have to do, and personally, here's my short version of this. Personally, I highly recommend, if you're going to build a business, get an attorney, get an accountant, and talk to them both about what your long-term plans are, what your goals are, what your ambitions are, what you're planning on doing. And let them guide you in how to build and structure the company. Now, if you're insistent upon doing it yourself to try to save a few dollars, it's not what I recommend. But if you're going to do it yourself, then you have to get articles of incorporation. Then you have to get some bylaws. Now, you can buy these at various types of stores and locations, and then you have to go through them and figure out, okay, what items are important to us in the company you're building, okay? You have to pick and choose the bylaws you want to use. You have to go through all of that stuff. After you've done that, then you need to do your resolutions. And before that, what you need to do is you actually need to issue stock certificates to yourself if you're the sole shareholder. Or if there's 3 or 4 of you, everybody needs to get their stock certificate. But before they get their stock certificate, the first thing they have to do is they have to write a check from their personal account to purchase their stock. They can't just be given stock. There must be documentary evidence showing that they purchased their stock. That gives your stock an adjusted cost base for tax purposes, and it also gives you the corporate governance records you need to create the corporate veil. Okay? Very important that you do these things. Once you've paid for your stock, then the stock certificate needs to be issued, and it needs to be dated, signed, and done. You need to determine how much stock you're going to authorize and how much stock you're going to issue. They should not be the same. Okay? Now that you've done that, you need to create a resolution. And the first resolution you're going to have is for opening a bank account so you can cash the check that you used to buy the stock. Okay? That's where you create the first resolution. Now, every time you do stuff inside the corporation, you need to write resolutions. Now, once the stock has been issued and you now are a shareholder, the shareholders must create a board of directors. They have to vote for a board of directors, and you must document all this. So when the board of directors is elected, then the board turns around and appoints the president of the company. And the president is the person that's going to run and manage the day-to-day operations of the company. All of these things need to be documented, put into the minute book, etc., and done. When you do all of these things, that's how you build a corporate veil and protect yourself. And if you don't do all of these things, then if something goes wrong with the company at some point in time, and it may be years later, people can come back and pierce the corporate veil. So you need to do these things. And if you don't know what you're doing, again, I highly encourage you. Hire an attorney, hire an accountant. They're not expensive to do this stuff, and they will make sure that all your stuff is done properly so that you're protected. To learn more, please visit us at theentrepreneurtrainingacademy.com. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to seeing you again.